Welcome. I'm glad you're watching. It's the reveal of, it's a little late, let's be honest. I'm still recovering from the yarn call, but I am about to just go into some details about the upcoming summer classes. These are classes that start from May 1st till the end of August. And then after that, we'll have our fall to early winter class release. But I wanted to go over any of the knitting and crochet classes that will be happening during this summer time. So, spring summer. For those of you who have never taken a class from me before, I just want to say that my classes might tend to be a little bit on the unique side. What I do provide, obviously, when you're in a physical class, for example, at In Between Stitches, you get me in the class teaching. Sometimes I have a guest teacher, and that would always be, sometimes I have a co-teacher or a guest teacher that's visiting me for a course. And again, that would always be in the class information page and the supply list. But all of my classes come with handouts. And on top of that, my handouts then get emailed to you in a PDF form. And in that PDF form, there are links to video tutorials. Majority of them are video tutorials made by me, and I provide every single little step and technique that is being taught in the class, so that if for some reason you're a little bit behind during the course, or maybe you don't remember because it was information overload, or you were talking to some really nice knitter or crocheter next to you and you totally forgot what I was saying, or you're going to have videos to help you walk you through the process of those things that maybe you need to refresh on or that you missed. The other thing too is that all of my classes, once upon completion, you get access to what I call Knit Connect, which is my online hub that has all of my course videos and content, so that if for some reason you lose that PDF or that handout, you have access to it after the fact. So anytime you take a class from me, you will have that content for you forever. Okay, so consider that's in the price of your course. And a lot of times you'll get discounts on the yarns, especially for projects that we're doing sweaters or we're doing larger quantities of yarn is needed for the course. You will get an extra discount for the yarn. You also sometimes will get the pattern for free, and that's included in the course. So there's lots of perks for taking classes from me, but I'm hoping that it's an enjoyable, fun, and obviously valuable learning experience for you. And just for point of reference, every class that I'm mentioning or workshop or even club that I'm mentioning, all the links are down below in the show notes. So you can click on that. It'll take you to the website where you can get more details, look at supply lists, and register if you'd love to join us. So let's get into the classes. Let's start with May. And I'm going to go in order of when the classes start. And then also we'll talk about some of our knitting or crochet events, okay? So starting with May, just looking at my calendar so that I don't miss anything. First things first, we have our Color Harmony workshop. Our Color Harmony workshop is to help those of you, I've heard so many times from students or from customers at the shop that they struggle with choosing colors or color palette, whether it's from making a quilt and choosing the right colors to go with the design, to actually choosing the colors you would want for a sweater, something maybe that has colorwork yoke, or let's say you're doing a shawl and it's asking you to use an accent color and a contrasting color, and you're just not sure what has color harmony, what is going to work. You might also be the type of person that loves a certain color, like you're just all about green or blues, or you only like this one shade of purple. Or you're the person who only wears black or gray or neutrals and struggles with picking out colors that complement your wardrobe. Here is the workshop. It's a one-day event. It's one evening from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to go over some basic color theory, and then you're going to get to play with color. I'm going to have some swatches for you in the full color rainbow, and we're going to talk about how we can pick and choose a color palette that actually works with each other, and also help you find complementary colors to your favorite colors, and also allow you to think outside of the box a little bit and maybe find some pop-up colors that will work for any kind of pattern that you're using. All right, so That's a little bit about the workshop. One time class, a bunch of information. There'll be handouts so you don't have to memorize everything. And there'll be some fun playtime as well. Okay? Hope I can see you at that one. And just to reiterate, the Color Harmony class is on a Monday, May 6th at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So our next class is going to start on May 15th, which is a Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. And this is the world of sock knitting. This is the class Intro to Sock Knitting. This is a very popular class and one truly close to my heart because I love knitting socks. I find that socks are such a great portable project. Knitting in general is portable, right? But sock knitting is especially portable. It's small. I can stick it in a small bag. I'm trying to find something very tiny like this. I even have one. It's not with me right now. It's over where I have my hat and my sunglasses for when I go for walks. I put a little wristband around that has the bag has a wristband on it. I have my sock yarn in there and my little 9-knit circulars, and I knit socks while I walk sometimes. Granted, I know knitting and walking, that could be sounds challenging, but it's not too bad. You're just knitting in the round doing the knit stitch. And so I love teaching about socks because I do think that they're, one, a fun project, very portable, travel worthy. And also, I love knitting hand knit socks. In fact, other than my athletic socks that I wear when I'm working out, the only other socks that I own now are my handmade socks. Okay. They're so comfortable. These are like a little shorty sock. You can do contrasting toes and heels, different colors and cuffs. You get to use up your favorite one skein that you just fell in love with, a fingering weight yarn at a store, and you can make them into beautiful socks. For example, here's a beautiful skein of self-striping yarn that's hand-dyed that I just absolutely love. But this one is in a Christmas colorway, so I knit myself some Christmas socks. I love using a Zauberball crazy yarn to make socks. You can also find yarns this is a West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply, very hardy, yummy, warm socks. But also this creates a special design. I think those socks are not available at the time. Here's me working on another shorty sock. And I've got a little contrasting contrasting cuff. And I'm just using some of just a beautiful hand-dyed yarn that I found one skein. And I thought, well, because I know how to sock knit, I only need one skein of fingering weight yarn to make myself a pair of socks. It's really cool and affordable project that you can make as a knitter. This is a 4-session class. That means we're meeting 4 times for 2 hours. It's just over 8 hours of instruction. Handouts, video tutorials are all included, of course. Now, the next class and the final new class that is in May is another workshop. It's a one-time class. We meet on Wednesday, May 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. And this is our Reversible Radiance workshop, which is where you can explore the technique of double knitting. So a reversible fabric that switches colors, both sides. It is gorgeous. There's actually a sample of this cowl in the shop if you wanted to see it in person. There's actually 3 designs. You have the choice to choose between the 3, but the technique is still the same. So it's going to get you started with the basics of double knitting, and you'll be raring to go to take any double knitting pattern and make it your own. The next class we have is a crochet class. And actually, this is a learning to crochet class. So if you've ever been interested in learning how to crochet, this is the course for you. It starts on June 5th. It's an evening class, so Wednesday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. And it meets for 4 weeks in a row. So this is a 4-week class, 8 hours of instructions. And the instructor is our lovely Pat Godkin. And she'll work you through crochet and get you raring to go to start learning some more advanced techniques after the class. Finishing off June, we are moving back into another knitting class. And actually, this is a 2-part workshop because we're going to be knitting a fingering weight cardigan. And this is a very easy cardigan. It's a drop shoulder. It's very comfortable. It's the Irish Gold, which is a new release pattern by one of my favorite designers, Joji Locatelli. And I've actually started mine. It's right here, and it's just started, but it's got really this beautiful basic lace pattern that kind of falls down the fronts and the backs and the sides. So simple, a lot of TV knitting, or as we call stockinette knitting. Yes, there's purling. We are doing a cardigan here, but I also picked this pattern because I thought if you are the type of person who does not like to start knitting a sweater as a pullover and love cardigans, this is a fantastic way or a fantastic pattern to start with because it's very basic. And on top of that, it's fingering weight. Where we live and the climate we live, in order to get a lot of wear out of something that we spend a lot of time knitting, it tends to have to be on the lighter spectrum of thickness in yarn. So fingering weight is one of those really versatile yarns where I can wear it almost year round. I'm not going to wear it out when it's super hot and it's over 100 degrees. But when it gets cooler in the evenings, or cooler in the mornings, I am always wearing a fingering weight cardigan because it's just lightweight. I can just take it off and have it handy for me whenever I need it. If you're interested and want to join along, this is also a knit along. So there will be prizes involved for those people who attend and also finish their cardigan. So the dates are the first date where we kick off. We go over the basic techniques. We'll get you started. There will be handouts. There will be video tutorials again for my classes. It'll be May 29th. This is a Saturday day class for those of you that work during the week and have a hard time coming and taking classes on a weekday. This is a weekend class. So 10 a.m. to 1, so that the 3-hour workshop for the first session, and again, 3 hours for the second session, but that won't be till August 24th. Again, this is a Saturday class from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then we move on to another crochet class. This is the Spicier Live Blanket class. This is actually 5 sessions. It starts on July 22nd. This is an evening course from 6 to 8 p.m. And it repeats for July 22nd, 29th, August 5th, 26th, and September 23rd. In this class, you're going to learn all different kinds of techniques. So basically, this is a building on your skills crochet blanket with lots of color variety and just lots of fun. Let's be honest, there's a sample of the blanket in the shop and it's adorable. And even though I'm not a huge fan of crocheting as much as I am knitting and I have to be very selective on my time, I'm very tempted to crochet this blanket. Very tempted. So we hope that you can join us. Again, that's going to be with our instructor, Pat Godkin, and it's sure to be a lot of fun and teach you some new skills in crochet. Then the next class, the following Saturday is the Colorwork class. And this is going to get you into the world of stranded colorwork knitting. So if you haven't done any stranded colorwork, Fair Isle type of knitting, this is your introductory course. Not only will you learn the technique to knit with both hands, one with one color in each hand, you will also learn how to design your own colorwork pattern. You have the option to do a cowl or a hat, and it's a ton of fun. In fact, with this class, it blows my mind how quickly people learn and how many projects after the fact they make using their newly acquired skills. I had one student that literally went to make a gazillion colorwork hats for all of her family members. And then I had another student that, while she was still finishing the one in the class, she had already started another one. And since then has knit lots of other colorwork things. So it's really cool to see people go right from a hat or a cowl to a colorwork sweater, to maybe do Icelandic sweater or do a full colorwork pattern, which I've seen someone do. They're very brave after this class, and I'm just super excited to teach you those techniques. If you have not ventured into it, it is going to open all kinds of new knitting patterns for you. And last but definitely not least, is the building blocks class. I teach this class at least 3 times a year. Is a building blocks class of helping you learn more techniques. So we start out with some basic stitch patterns, and then over time you're doing more intricate stitch patterns and you end up with making a blanket. So we use this book, Building Blocks. And we meet for a total of 7 months. We meet once a month over the course of 7 months. Every time we meet for 2 hours. So quite a bit of hours of instruction. Plus, you have videos for all the techniques. You have handouts. And I just want to show you some of the blocks that you create in this class. So this is a fantastic class. Oh, that's backwards. For someone who considers themselves a new knitter or haven't really ventured into different types of stitch patterns. We got some mock cables. We have traditional cables. We get into some twisted stitches, some slipping of stitches for designs, and then some more intricate lace. It's a totally fun class. This is the one class where I see so much growth between when my students first come in into the last class. There's a ton of growth, and everybody just loves this class. If you are interested in this class, it will be on Saturday. So this is a Saturday class. It starts August 17th, and this class is from 1 to 3 p.m. on every Saturday, but it's August 17th, September 21st, October 19th, November 16th, December 21st, January 18th, and February 15th. We go all the way into 2025 because we only meet once a month. And if you are going to miss one of those dates, it's not a big deal with this class because you don't actually have to finish your blocks before the next class. You would just put your stitches on hold so that we can work on the following month's blocks, and you can do one of the following 3 things. You could just wait until my next building block course starts and jump in on the month you missed, free of charge. You could just attend the same month of the blocks that you missed in the next building blocks course. You could also come to a knit night, which is $5, and I'll be there and I can get you started. And then this other option is to do a knitting support with me, which is $15 basically, and you get 30 minutes one-on-one with me. And we can get you started on your blocks. You don't hold back from taking this class if you're going to miss a month or two because you have options to get caught up, okay? And you don't have to have all your blocks done by the final month. I'm just going to teach you the 2 ways that we're going to seam up the blanket, and you only really need to have 4 blocks available to you at that time. And I'm sure you will knit 4 blocks over the course of 7 months. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I have my links and stuff inside the show notes here, or you can just comment right here on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing some of you. And as always, if you're interested in taking any of my courses in an online platform, there's a link there to join the waitlist for when my classes go on the online version. All right. Happy knitting and crocheting. Talk to you later. Take care.